Hi, it's me, Dora V here, and today I will be reading The Past Life of Guts. As you can see, I already have this spread out, and let's just get to the point, and I like to say right now that the childhood seemed okay. But as time went on, things got worse and worse. Poor guy. So anyway, the gender is the hermit. So despite the picture of the girl here, Nikki, it would most likely be male, I would say, because the hermit is like 9 times out of 10 presented as a male card. So male. And then the environment is like the Ten of Cups, which of course, like, things don't get much better than this. Everything's great. And there's much celebration and happy contentment, and it's definitely not like reversed. It's really good. And then the Eight of Cups, which is usually an ambivalent, like, it's kind of when you leave certain things behind, but that's not always a bad thing. And sometimes you have to kind of let go of what's not working. But in this case, it's reversed. So really, it's great joy, happiness, and feasting. You're not going anywhere. You don't have to leave anything or anyone behind. You don't have to let go at all. And so he just had it was just a really happy childhood in a really good environment. And then the education is the Nine of Pentacles, which is basically, you've done your sowing, you've reaped what you sown, and now you're enjoying what you have reaped. And it could be like, it could be like a shopping trip or spa. Like, it basically means that, that through all your work, it says, they're meant to be enjoyed alone. So, like, it's like this spa sort of thing. But safety, accomplishment. So he's definitely highly accomplished in education. He was doing fine, and he was enjoying all of the fruits, the benefits, the results of his education. And while 9 is a solitary number, it's also one of humanity, so his education involved that as well, both solitary pursuits and humanity at large. So his education worked out really well for him. And accomplishments, goals achieved, it is the Four of Wands, which means that, he certainly achieved his goals. Structure, security, in a home, community, workplace. It's that, he was doing fine here too in terms of his goals. Like, haven of refuge, repose, concord, harmony, peace. Everything is great. Lucky him. But then we get here to his main occupation, which is the Chariot. But it's reversed. And a reversed Chariot is, at best, you're just kind of not going anywhere, but it's okay. Like, you don't have to go anywhere if you don't want to. It just stays there. It doesn't do anything. At worst, it's a complete disaster. It's like, basically, you're spinning your wheels and you're just crashing and burning, and you think you're in control, but you're not. You are careening off a cliff, and there's just a massive crash. Everything's upside down. Things aren't being planned. And you're just, you just kind of crash and burn, or you're dealing with that situation. So my guess is that his occupation was someone who maybe deals in really bad situations. Maybe like a cop, or some kind of authority figure who has to keep order and to basically make order out of chaos. And because the Chariot is about being driven, but it's a well-controlled drive. And that if you're going to travel, you map it out. Well, the reversal means that's not happening, so maybe he has to be the one to turn over the Chariot to get the horses fixed or the car repaired. That's another thing. He could have been like a car repairman. If car breaks down, he goes and repairs it. He fixes what is broken. That may very well be his job, or maybe he didn't have one, but I suspect that the occupation in his past life was basically some kind of a fixer, like Mike the Fixer or something, to basically to deal with what's been broken down, to plan what hasn't been planned, to get things together when they need to be together, and to be the one organizing it and planning it so you don't fall apart again. That seems to have been his occupation. At least that's how I see it. Guts the fixer. Relationships is an utter disaster. It is the Five of Swords. It's reversed. But it doesn't matter. Because, well, I mean, according to Mystic Mondays, like, the Five of Swords could mean, like, an end of pain, an end of dishonor, an end of loss, and to basically forgive and move past your pains. But to everyone else, it just sucks. Like, it's just, like, it basically means defeat. Yeah, and of course the 5 tends to be pretty dreadful, but that's not always the case. Like, not thinking things through, like, the relationship is pretty bad. Yeah, the relationship basically sucked, to put it very simply. And that there was a lot of pain, and that, it's gonna be a warning of consequences. Yes, here's the negative characteristics, but not the, just wasn't really thinking things through. And so because of it, the relationship ended up being a disaster. Just not good relationship. Yes, it could also, like, mean that maybe he wanted a certain relationship and got what he wanted, but it ends up being just bad. Like, be careful what you wish for sort of thing. Like, no prize for anyone. Like, it just ends up being just a hot mess, I guess. Like, be careful what you wish for. So he didn't have good relationships. That sucks. Family life is the Queen of Cups, but she's reversed. She's upside down, so she's spilling everywhere. She's a bitch. I guess his family life is that his wife is a bitch, or he's dealing with a bitch, or maybe he's a bitch. I don't know. But a lot of dishonor, depravity, and just a lot of deceit going on. Maybe that's pretty similar to what the Count went through. Like, she basically cheated on him and just with orgies. That's why he kind of freaked out the way he did. So it may have been the same for Guts' past life. That sucks. And his nature of death was the Page of Cups. So, was he killed by a kid? No, maybe, or like he may have, was he killed by a young man? But he might have, maybe there was a message, and maybe he got sick and died, so it could be that, like he's told that, he has cancer or something, and he's dead. Because it's also like a messenger, but he may have died because of that. But you could be told, like, you're really sick and you're dying. So that may very well have been the nature of his death. Or he was killed by a kid. Or a kid may have caused his death. That sucks. It's always a possibility. So how about the lessons learned? What did you learn, Guts? He learned the Knight of Wands reversed. The reverse Knight of Wands. What a lesson. Wow, that's really... what the hell did you learn? Rupture, division, interruption, and discord? That's what you've learned. He's basically learned nothing, I guess. But basically, like he's learned what discord can do and interruption can do, and he's still kind of doing that. So I guess he's learned to get better at it, or to be stronger and more violent about it, maybe. Something like that. But my guess is he didn't really learn the lesson he was supposed to learn, seeing what happened. The second lesson is the King of Pentacles, reversed as well. The hell kind of lessons was your past life teaching you? Jeez. Vice, weakness, corruption, So those are the lessons he's learned? Maybe he's learned what not to be. It could be that. Like, he's learned not to be weak. He's actually pretty handsome, so I guess he learned not to be ugly. Like, he's learned not to be too corrupt. He's learned how to deal with peril. He certainly has done that. That's why he was born knowing how to do that. And he's just learned not to be so hung up on vice. So, I guess those are pretty good lessons to learn, what not to be. And then the positive carryover is the Three of Wands, but it's reversed. The hell kind of carryover is that? Oh, not too bad, I guess. Yeah, this is one of those things where a reversal is really not bad. At least not really the end of trouble, suspension, or cessation of adversity and disappointment. So, like, the carryover is... positive carryover is maybe he's just used to disappointment, that he can learn how to finish certain things or end adversity. With Griffith, he kind of did that. Well, at least in the Golden Age, but of course in the rest of Berserk it's a little different. But maybe how to deal with that, to how to end troubles, to do it himself, and how to just live with toil and get used to disappointment, because that absolutely can happen. So yeah, that's a carryover. But the second carryover is the best. This is the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, the second carryover is the Wheel of Fortune, so he's carried a lot of luck with him. And it's mostly good luck. I mean, like, when his luck is good, it's really, really good. Like with Bazuzo. And that's why Griffith actually called him out on that, where the axe actually hit Guts' helm, but it barely did anything. I'm trying to think, like, was it broken? I just know that if it was one more centimeter, then Guts wouldn't even have a head. But no, like, Guts survived it. And he survived a lot of things, through, I mean, his own skill and strength, obviously, but he's also survived it through luck. And I think in one of the filler parts of Berserk, this fairy saved him, was constantly healing him, so there's luck right there. And Puck basically allowed him to maintain his humanity, so there's luck. That he had the fortune of being found, like he was born of a corpse, bad luck, but a woman found him and chose to keep him, good luck. He grows up with mercenaries where he learns from an early age how to kick ass, that's good luck, but Gambino's a piece of shit, bad luck, and then he's raped by Donovan, also bad luck. So yeah, that's his whole life, is like, when his luck is good, it's amazingly good, but when it's bad, and really, I think Guts prefers to make his own luck anyway. He just prefers it to be good. So, that's pretty much it. That's about all I can think of. His past life, I think, like, it started out pretty good, but the older he got, the worse it got. And that he died. I don't think he necessarily died a terrible death. Like, my guess is that maybe a young doctor told him that he's sick and dying, and so he does. And that the lessons learned is that, I guess, what not to be, basically, or to get used to certain things. But the second carryover, like, first carryover, like, yeah, he's definitely learned how to finish things, and he's going to be doing that, I'm sure. But his second carryover, to me, is the best one, and that has saved his life a lot. I mean, obviously, he's very skilled, and he's very strong, and reasonably intelligent, but luck has saved his ass more than a few occasions. Yeah, so really, I'd say overall it's not that bad. It's just the difference is that in his past life he had a really good childhood, whereas in his current life, not so much. But, he's a mercenary, so yeah, get used to toiling. And get used to fighting. That's how he lived. That's how he's gonna go out. But the Wheel of Fortune will still spin, and I think it'll spin in his favor even now. Well, yes, of course, he'll have some bad luck, but I think it'll spin in his favor. And so I think that'll do for now. Hopefully I got the point across, and see you later. Goodbye.